Nobody looks professional in this lot.
Anto does.
Anto looks professional in this.
Yeah, Anto looks professional.
Wonderful. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Wobbly Player Syndrome, a Warhammer 40k podcast. It is episode 63. Quick, everybody checks to make sure I can add. I believe I'm right.
Taken us down yet?
Hey. And today we've come up with the title of How Much is Too Much? We thought long and hard about that, didn't we, folks?
Yeah.
Yes. We argued about it and let you just waffle, so yeah, it worked well for us.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm not the only one who's going to waffle tonight. And I'm Greg, by the way, if you're listening for the first time. Go listen to the other 62 episodes. It's informative. Words are fun. We've got Radio Mike, who I rudely interrupted. We have Adam.
Yellow.
We have Safe for Work Mark.
Hey, everybody.
And Not Safe for Work Mark.
Like it, bitches. How you doing?
Ease your way into it. I like it.
I'll get it out of the way early.
How is everyone? Is fine May even in it?
I am alive.
Freezing cold.
Freezing cold.
Wearing a jumper. It's stupid. It shouldn't be this cold.
Well, welcome to Canberra winter.
It's after Anzac Day. It should be this cold.
That's right. That is true.
Survives the hail.
It's in the rules, right?
Yep.
I think I did break one day. I went, you know, it's a bit cold, and my son was home. I went, yeah, stuff it. I'm not on my own. The heater's going on. So, yeah, that's how it works. I do have a little oil heater next to me, so I'm just going to reach for my fridge.
Now that we've got the new heater installed, it's like we get out of bed, we turn the heater on.
Oh, you haven't advanced yet. My heater comes on, then I get out of bed.
6 o'clock, ours comes on.
Yeah. Just enough to take the chill off. Yeah. And this is what people are here for, listening to our warming habits.
Our secret preferences.
How do we keep our bits warm? That's right.
Yeah, welcome to Wobbly Heating System, where middle-aged men talk about how we heat our houses. Strap yourselves in, motherfuckers.
It's going to get hot.
It's getting hot in here.
And this economy, that's what you want to talk about.
When we do the releases.
Unfortunately, Anthony could not make it tonight. He's apparently got a cracked tooth. I don't know who's done it.
Probably trying to chew the plastic off the latest set of something.
I suspect he was eating flan.
Flan. Okay.
Because that's what you break your teeth on.
Yeah, you got to watch the
bones. Not like toffee or, rock candy or something like that.
I did it on a ham, cheese and tomato sandwich. I broke a tooth.
It was frozen at the time.
Quality ham, obviously.
The bone's still there. Yep, Flan Bulldoss is on the chat, so wonderful. Yep, Flan.
One of my kids did actually damage a tooth on a pizza, but in his defense, there was a rock in the pizza.
Holy crap.
Yeah, my boys cracked a tooth on a pizza.
You usually get that on
mine was due to chewing on lollipops.
I've seen it happen with curry.
I was just saying, if it was concrete, I guess go to the Mediterranean, but you can't say that, can you?
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I'm on fire tonight. Somebody stop me. Good luck.
Right. How do we get the owner of the call?
Good luck, folks. Good luck. But we should just move on, right? Because otherwise it's going to go downhill. Michael, could you please tell us about new releases and one that you finally got, considering the absolute drama that it was?
I probably can, yes.
Thank you.
I'm going to jump out of order. Obviously, The Lion and His Retinue finally came out in Australia. Not that most people would know, because shit sold out literally instantly.
That's right.
Yeah, as I understand, a lot of stores got, a handful of them. I heard stockists were getting, maybe 4. So, not a huge shock that they all sold out.
Yeah.
Michael has 15 for sale, by the way.
His website, eBay shop is.
There is a shit ton of them on eBay, yeah.
Yeah.
For a while there, it was pretty rare to hear of a Dark Angel player who actually managed to get one.
Yeah.
Which was a bit frustrating. But I did manage to get one, which was great. So that's cool. What else do we had? We just had previous set of pre-orders was the new Kill Team Gallowfall.
Pre-order now. Well, it's only just gone on pre-order on the weekend, though, didn't it?
Well, there's a new pre-order for this weekend has been announced today, so that pre-order happened, and then there's already been announcements for the new pre-order.
Is that the cultist one?
It's
No,
the one that's got Gallowfall is Beastmen and Votan.
Yep.
Which looked really cool, and I was kind of tempted to get it, but most stockists got 2 of those.
Okay.
So I did
Is
not
it
get
Gallow
one.
Fall or Gallow
It's-
Dark?
Gallowfall.
Because they're
Still
talking about Gallow Dark now. So what the heck is that?
I think the Gallowfall is the fall of the Gallow Dark.
Oh.
Yeah,
They're,
that's
they're
not
all
confusing.
Votan and Beastmen, though. So
Yeah. I don't know. But the Exaction Squad came out as an individual box set, which was cool. That was from the previous Kill Team Soul Shackle, I think, which had the Arbites Squad.
Oh, yeah.
RBTs, as Games Workshop would
Arbites.
have me pronounce it. Which is cool. I picked up some of those so I can build some and then not use them in 40k because the rules for Imperial Agents are really fucking confusing.
I'm sorry, just got a question. What are Beastmen? They're chaos, but
They're
what
counts,
are they?
yeah.
They're men beasts. They're
Yeah.
they're mute. They
Like
are a-
Zangors for the other Chaos Squads.
historically they are a fairly stable type of demi-human, like squats and ogrins and ratlings.
There you go. Gallow
But
Dark.
they are beastmen.
Gallow
They are
Dark-
also a type of mutant.
and they're not
Yeah.
sanctioned.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, Joker just corrected us with the Gallow Dark is the ship that this Kill Team Seasons was based off.
Yeah, I mean that's what I
That's
said.
right.
Gallow
Yeah.
Fall is the fall of the Gallow Dark.
Yeah, I was correcting someone else, clearly.
Ah. So we also had a bunch of cards for Adeptus Titanicus came out. Some characters for Blood Bowl. We got the World Eaters Combat Patrol previously. We got a whole bunch of made to order stuff happened earlier on.
I saw that.
Hopefully if people wanted it, they ordered it because it ended yesterday.
Yeah, I got the
Abaddon.
old Khan.
Yeah, Abaddon, Typhus,
Ah.
Araman, Fabius, Khan, the cool Chaos Lord models, the Traitors of Chaos, and the old Demon Prince.
Yeah, I saw the old Zench Rubik Marie and said, I've just painted 20 of those. I think I'm okay.
You can always
Yeah.
do with more, right?
Almost got the
Have
original.
they released those new Demon Princes yet?
Yes.
Yes,
They have for AOS. That's why you can't
Ah.
find them on websites because they're
No.
listed under
No.
AOS.
No.
They're in thousands
you can
of
buy
times,
it. There's a
yeah.
boarding party one. There was a boarding party box set that had a Helldrake, Terminators, and the new Demon Prince.
The Demon Prince is it's on the 40k web store, but it does
Okay,
say
on Games
out of
Workshop
stock.
probably, but in most other places it's listed in the different part of the website.
Yeah, fair
As
Yeah,
enough.
but you can get it
AOS
through AOS because I remember I went, oh, AOS new Demon Prince is in the AOS box. I don't need that. There's a 40k one.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yet again, that's something that I haven't. I wanted to pick one of those up, but I haven't seen one available.
Fair enough.
We also got Arcs of Omen, the Lion, which I had next to me, but it's in the other room now. The new Azrael model, also in the other room now. The new Dante model, Vashtor on his own, Dice
Oh,
for
poor
Sanguinary Guard, and the the boarding patrols for Leagues of Votan and Agents of the Imperium came out as well.
That box, the Agents Imperium box, looks good, and I was tempted, but I should behave.
Yeah. My biggest problem with the Agents of the Imperium stuff, like with the Navy guys and the Arbites, is that they're really freaking hard to use. They have silly rules. Like both the Arbites and all the Navy guys have a rule that says these guys do not count as a compulsory troops choice
Yeah.
unless you are using a pure Navy or Arbites detachment, which you cannot do.
Yep. I did notice that. But that's 9th edition, mate. Come on, live for the now.
Yeah, hopefully they're going to change that in 10th so it makes sense.
It's a free-for-all in 10th, isn't it? Essentially.
I think they signposted they're going to be changing agents so that depending on the size of the battle, you can include X. There's a table of how many agent characters you can take and a table
cool.
of how many agent retinue squads you can take. So it
Good.
won't be based on you get one free choice per detachment. it'll be total army size gives you this many units.
Oh, good. I'm
Which-
glad they're keeping it simple.
It's a bit more It's a bit more usable than it currently is. So hopefully that doesn't suck.
Fair enough. Yep.
I always loved taking like an Inquisitor with a retinue in a big army.
But yeah,
It's-
it makes sense. The Inquisitor's here. I'm going to borrow this. And, let's go there. That's all. Inquisitors, they just don't get the love they deserve.
But you're never going to field an army of only Inquisitors.
Not in 40k. Maybe a kill team. That's why it was weird that they didn't bring a kill team Inquisitor force.
I mean, you know,
Oh,
with a
actually, they
slight
did.
change.
Hang on. Isn't there something new? It was announced that Inquisitor. I'm sure that's the new kill team.
Have
Is
my
the
models. Come on.
You've got the Arbites and the Navy guys and the Breaches. They're all options you can use.
One moment, call it. You talk amongst yourselves.
Go, Michael, go.
Yeah, I mean, with very minor changes, you could absolutely field an entire Inquisition force on its own. But they've just written it so that you can't.
Okay.
It's a bit wild.
Having ever never looked at it, so yeah, Inquisition's never been something that's been on radar. Would you though, if you could?
I mean, I kind of would. I've done weird stuff like that in the past. I have giant piles of them. You can use them in like boarding action games.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they do fit into that. But getting them to work as an actual independent army in a normal game of 40k just doesn't work because they all have special rules that means you can't take them as like
Well-
compulsory troop choices.
And I'm kind of okay with that because, like, they don't really fit into a regular army battle of 40k.
I was right. The next kill team is Chaos Cultists and Inquisition.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that's
Spanish?
the one with the new acolyte models.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But is it the Spanish Inquisition? No.
but I mean that probably won't make any difference.
No, but
To-
I said they should make at least a kill team of it, and then I corrected myself. Oh, I think they have! Well, not technically yet.
Yeah.
It's on its
Uh,
way.
yeah, just
It
confusing
makes
you.
sense for a kill team. It doesn't make
There you
sense
go.
for like,
Bulldust. There's a
regular
kill team
40k.
coming, so there you go. Inquisition. Look, everyone else in the chat said yes, it's coming. Can't you people read?
In my defense, every single Agents of the Imperium has been a kill team. So,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, but you have like things like Inquisitor Kasparov, whatever his name is, the guy
Yeah.
on the big giant dunny.
Yeah, I know, right?
His law is he shows up leading armies. He doesn't fuck around.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
No, you can't. That's just. And Crusade was such a perfect thing, mechanism to have an Inquisition that builds up and stuff like that. It'd be great. Awesome spam. Sorry, we've got spam coming up. Let me just get rid of that.
That's
Yay,
cool.
man.
Speaking of Crusaders, that's one thing that bugs me about the Imperial Agents is you can't make Death Cultists or Crusaders as acolytes. Because acolytes can't take storm shields, and they can't take 2 power weapons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can give them 1 power weapon and say they count as a Death Cultist or a Crusader, but then they have 5+ armor save.
Which is kind of what you want for meat shield acolytes.
But yeah, but you know, the whole point of the Crusaders is that they have a big shield, and you can't give them that.
Yeah. Well, they can't have that anymore. No more nice stuff for you. Yeah. All right. So, and of course, there's been a lot of the big drip with 10th edition, which will probably spill into our conversation tonight because it always does. So we'll just move on to the other bits and pieces, which will be short. Should we do battle report first? We'll do battle report first because it's going to take forever. We've
Why do you say battle report?
report?
Battle report. So
Battle
how many?
report. Yeah, battle
How
report.
many we got?
We've definitely got
it's
no
coming
more
up.
than one.
Why
Yeah.
is it not coming up now? There it is. One battle report, and it's got 4
Battle
photos.
report.
And I don't think it
Cool.
shows the other army. I just realised it's only showing my 1,000 Suns, which is all you need to see, clearly.
So who did you play against?
I played against Adam and his world
Well,
leaders.
I think I can see some at the back and behind him. He's holding him hostage for me. I'm waiting for proof of life.
Yeah.
They
they
were
are.
too busy killing to pose for a photo.
There's one in the background there, I'm sure of it.
You'll probably find that's one of the old Rubric Marines. But yeah, we did. I finally finished painting the first 1,000 points for my 1,000 Suns, and Adam was kind enough to say, "I'll give you a game." I said, "Thanks, buddy." And so he played.
I didn't enjoy it.
I did. I didn't use any stratagems for the 1,000 Suns. That was a bit strange because I was struggling enough to remember how Cabal points worked, and there are a lot of psychic powers, and I got them mixed up a couple of times. But I did get the win in the end. Wasn't that? It was pretty close.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was by 5 points.
Yeah, it came down to the last 3 cards I drew, because we played Tempest of War. It came down to the last 3 cards I drew. I could do all 3 of them, so it got me 15 points, and that was it. That was how I got the win. Tempest of War.
I've got to look at the way I play. I keep losing by 5 points.
Yeah. Tempest of War. It will kick you in the nuts. Yeah. So that's it for the battle reports. Hope you enjoyed it.
It was fun. It was a fun 1,000 points.
So many battle reports.
Yeah. There was meant to be a tournament yesterday, but I think that's been postponed due to life.
Yeah, I'm going to postpone it to the end of the month. So fingers crossed. We'll probably get a couple more people that may be able to play.
Yeah.
It was like, Mark and Greg, you guys put in there saying, I can play, but I'd already had a chat to Anto, and it was just like, me and him are only 2 could play. And it felt antisocial.
Well, I've been offline. Hi, folks. I've been offline for a week trying to do my last assessment for a course, and I didn't think I was going to make it on Sunday because I was, stress, freaking out, no sleep, natural stuff of a student. And then I sent it off to get it reviewed. And went, I might actually have time to play. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed you'd comment at like
2:30 in the morning.
2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I just happened to find myself 2 hours of time that I didn't have previously. It's like, okay, I'm bored. What can I do?
If I had a Sigmar army fully ready to go, I'd say yes, but they're just not
stay
ready.
tuned, folks. There'll be some Marvel Crisis Protocol coming your way shortly, I'm sure. Now, 3 of us here have the core set.
And I've got about 30 3D printed alternative figures. So, I've got a few now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. All right, let's go to the hobby report. Adam, you're up first.
It depends how much is there. So
2 photos.
Yes. I started the Chaos Lord of Skulls, and I went, what? I'll finish him in a weekend. Yeah. No. It's a huge model. I've even haven't got the arms done. I've stippled the Chaos Red, or the whatever red it is, and I've done his shield, so I've dry brushed the skulls, I've shaded the skulls and the gold, but that's as far as I've got. It's
that main body looks rather happy, shall we say?
Oh yeah. It's a huge model. When you put
I do love
little
that
Space
shield
Marine,
with the skull. The shield with the skulls, that looks so good.
Yeah, I haven't shaded it yet. I haven't bronzed it. I haven't changed made the gold dirty, but that's exactly what it is. But he's just a huge model.
How big is it?
It is. I think I was having a chat. It's about the size of a knight.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a little model to the right of it.
Yeah, you can see it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, see.
Has a big model.
Doesn't even go up to the treads.
No, he's as big as a knight. He's bulky, so, yeah.
And it's huge, so, I was dreaming when I said I'd get it done on a weekend.
Get it done before 10th?
I'll try. I want to field it before the 10th.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my knights on the field before 10th as well, so yeah.
I mean, once you kind of get your hand in, you can knock something like that out pretty quickly. I did a Knight Castigator for the was it the 12-hour hobby challenge GW Belco did a while back. It took me about 18 hours. But I'd already built about 16 knights before then, so I was pretty good at it.
So I've got the red on the body all done. I've just got to pick out the silver and shade it. I reckon the body I'd probably have it done in a couple of hours, and then the head and everything like that. So it wouldn't take me long, but it's just getting there, doing it, because there's a lot of gold around it as well.
Yeah, cool. I think I'm up next. I don't have any finished. Still finishing these 2 War Dogs. They're assembled now. I haven't got a photo, but they're actually assembled now. So now it's just picking out the spiky bits that are going to go on them, and then they'll be ready. And then there's the start of the next 1,000 points of the 1,000 Suns. The little golden boys there, not the custodies. And more of that. I'm really getting quite adept at doing those marble bases now. When I first did it, it took me quite a long time with the airbrush. Now it's spray can, 20 at a time, done. So, and they're still coming up quite nice. So I'm happy how that's working. That big base, does everyone know what that's for? Magnus is coming. Yeah, he's coming. So now I'm back to getting some hobby done. That will be finished. Oh yes, they will be. Radio Mike, you're up next.
So I've been working a bit on my Votan this month, mostly just kind of knocking out the pile of unbuilt stuff I had. And then I got distracted bouncing around between projects. Like I stopped painting my Hearthkin, I started laying down colours on some Berserkers, and then I got distracted by the Hecaton Land Fortress, and I've spent most of today working on the Hecaton. It's getting along. Currently, I'm just trying to paint the cockpits so I can close the damn thing up.
Yeah.
And then try and go through and do the rest of it. And then I'm probably gonna... Sorry?
No, it's all right. I was just going to say, I haven't probably never looked at them properly before, but I do like the mini baby crawler figures. I don't know what they're called, but the cage, they're in the cage. Like they've come straight out of Aliens.
The guys that are in the cage?
It's got a little roll cage over their shoulder.
The Brokir Ironkin, the guys with the big guns.
Yeah. I like those models. They're cool.
Yeah, they've got like a big harness around their upper torso. Yeah,
the baby crawler.
They've actually also got extendo arms.
Oh.
Like they've got like big servo arms that increase the length of their arms that end in like robo hands to hold their guns.
Extreme. You got 3 of them. You'll have to do one green, one red, one blue.
I've actually got 9 of them because I built one squad with every weapon option.
That is power extreme. I do have Anthony's hobby progress because he's been doing a lot. Now, everyone knows what the slap chop method is. If not, let me explain. Alright, that's where you spray your model black, or base coat it black, and then you dry brush it grey or white or both, and then you use contrast. The idea behind that is the dark areas that you didn't get with the dry brush will add more contrast to the contrast paints. And I actually really like the technique, and I can see that Anthony has been going absolutely crazy with it. And he's got his Dante done as well, so he's got his Dante's crew hanging out. I had to point out the fact that Dante's got a Blood Angel helmet at his feet, like he's just punished someone. So he said he'll have to paint it green, which was funny because I knew what he meant, but Michael got upset. Why the death? Not Death Guard, Dark Angels. What did they do to you? So,
well, it's because he said dark green.
He did say
and I'm
dark
like,
green. Yeah.
Your salamanders aren't dark green.
Mine are definitely not dark green. So that's what you can see from Anthony's stuff there, or the listeners, is the slap chop, which is it's come out really good. So slap chop, very quick as well because you're using contrast paint. You still need to know what you're doing with it, but they come out really nice. And I've got a few more models I'll be doing the same technique with. There you go. And I got nothing from the marks.
No.
Well, if I'd have known I was allowed to put half grey stuff up, I would have given you that. But
yeah, I know. I was struggling. Usually, like to put only finished stuff, but we were struggling this month.
like I've got,
and it is called Hobby Progress as well.
Yeah, good point. I've got 10 Craven Throwing Guard from my Night Haunts, which are the range, pretty much the only ranged attack from a Night Haunt. I'll put some of those up in my Insta feed later, so people can have a look at that.
Yep.
I did put on my Insta feed the new paint scheme I'd worked together for one of my what are they? Castigators, Relics, some melee Stormcast that I did. So working on a darker stone method, and it's a bit of fun, a bit of cool. Working with dry brushing and contrast, so that was a bit different. But most of my time has been on my Marvel Crisis Protocol, which really isn't the realm of where we're at for this podcast.
No, it's not. But yeah, stay tuned, folks. More battle
Yeah,
reports.
soon.
Yeah, I have no excuses. I just haven't been painting.
I can empathise getting distracted. I've been trying not to slip back into building heresy stuff, although I'm probably about to get distracted by building the lion and a squad of Blade Guard.
But that's not heresy, not those ones.
Well, yeah, I was tossing up whether or not to paint the Blade Guard like Fallen.
Ooh. Humana. Sorry. That'd be interesting. Alright, cool. That's all the regular stuff out of the way. Now we get to have our short break. It's exciting, it's riveting, you'll be enthralled, or you could entertain yourself for 30 seconds. Either way, we'll see you soon.
We are Rollers, and we have the games for you. Be it board games, card games, dice games, or party games. You name it, and we have it. Find us online at rollersboardgames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at rollersboardgames.
From acoustic to distortion, Storyboard Concept is music that's honest, relaxing, and full ball rockin' music. Follow Colin at storyboardconcept.bandcamp.com. And that was a black screen that you got to see a little longer than you normally would, but it's exciting. Glad you enjoyed it. Welcome back. The ad ran out, we were still talking, and I forgot.
They get what they pay for.
63 episodes in. I'll get it right soon.
We're a quality production.
Only the best amateur stuff you'll find.
We'll get it right on 64.
Yep, guaranteed.
Pressure.
Oh dear, we'll have to. Yeah, cool. What is it we're talking about? How much is too much? That is the title of this episode for Wobbly Player Syndrome 63. It's exciting. What does that mean, Michael? Why are we talking about how much is too much?
Well, the idea is that Games Workshop's releasing a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of product lines even, with 40k and AOS, and then they brought back Heresy as more of a mainline thing with all the plastic releases for it, and now it looks like they're going to do the same thing with the Old World and bring it back, and then they're going to have like 4 mainline games. Yeah. And is that just too many things to be buying stuff for?
And once you add Epic and APOC and all the other random ones.
Well, yeah, then you've still got all the specialist games like Necromunda and Blood Bowl and Adeptus Titanicus.
And they already don't have any stock of anything.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, they're having trouble making stuff to supply the product lines they're already doing. Like, I haven't been able to get a Sagittor for my Votan since launch because they've just been out of stock the whole time. And we were discussing how you couldn't get a Demon Prince because they're out of stock, like, all the time.
And Hiveguard as well.
Yeah. Like, lots of new models, they just don't reissue for ages.
Yeah, your Tyrannid ones might be because the new models are coming. But they have been out of stock for a long time, so that's a stretch.
They were out of stock like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were just being prepared. The new Lictor does look cool, but they were just, I don't know. I got nothing. Can't defend them. Yeah, we were talking about this off air because, that's what we like to do. Talk about the topic before recording.
What you do, right?
Warming up.
You don't want to go in cold. That's how you tear something.
Fair enough.
Touching our age.
We're going to go back to those heaters.
I told you to strip the fuck in.
If you don't have a heater, make sure you got your nanny blanket.
Yeah.
Or a jumper.
No, you're right. There is a lot of mainline sort of IPs that they're bringing out, and it's getting to a point. How are they maintaining all of this? And then they have the made to order as well on top that comes out. They had a huge one. Is it made to order, or we found these ones, we better try and get rid of them?
Well, some of that stuff I do wonder if it's part of keeping the IP. So I'm not an IP lawyer. I don't know much about European IP, but I do know that you've got to use it in some way or you lose it. And I do wonder sometimes, is this stuff that's going to slip away that they've had just the tiniest bit of it and they've got to do something with it? But I don't know.
That's actually not a bad angle, actually. That could well be it.
I hadn't considered that because some industries do work like that. Although I find a lot of the stuff, it's when they replace something or when they're going to replace something, they'll do like that last made-to-order run of like, okay, who wants this shit that we're about to replace?
It always sounds to me, whenever I see those made-to-order, is, oh crap, we found a crate full of these models at the back of the warehouse, who wants them kind of thing, rather than, I don't get the impression it's a fresh run.
Well, I mean, I've bought a bunch of made-to-order stuff, and it has always taken ages. Like, when you buy it, it's got like a disclaimer warning, fulfillment is 180 days. Like, it takes a while for it to show up. So if they had that in the warehouse and then didn't ship it to me for 6 months, I'd be pretty annoyed.
But did it show up with the old box art?
No. Almost everything I've gotten from them has showed up with like the blank white box with the sticker on it.
Yeah. Okay. I think in that case it is definitely actually made to order, as opposed
or
to.
is it still the metal?
Some of it, like the stuff that was metal, when they made to order it, it's usually the same.
Yeah.
So like when they made to order, they are making the same thing that it used to be usually. Because I got at least one of my Inquisitor models that way. I think they did like a run of the Inquisitors forever ago, and I picked up the third one that I couldn't get because there was 3 female Inquisitors with different weapons. Okay. And that one came out as metal.
Question for you: with that stuff that they do, the made-to-order stuff, how old are those models? Are they 2-3 years old, or
in some cases they're like 20, 30.
Yeah, the Inquisitors in question are from the early 2000s.
The Rubik Marines you could get a moment ago with 1990. I know that because it's written on the models that I have.
I pre-ordered the made-to-order Khan the Betrayer original one.
Yeah, and they did the original. They did the old 90s. The old 90s Commissar Yarrick with the
the claw.
I know. The reason why I keep asking about the age of that, because I know some of the repush for the old world on AOS is because they are going to lose some of that IP, and there's a whole lot of Tolkien IP that's going to be opened up that they're able to jump in on and re-own.
And that's what's the other thing that we forgot about is the line of they've also got Lord of the Rings. So.
Oh yeah, they do still have Lord of the Rings, don't they? But that's like a specialist game. It's not a main game. I don't feel.
I know nothing about that one.
Yeah, I've never really gotten into it.
Nor will I. I find it strange. Why would you buy 4 different versions of Gandalf? I don't quite get it.
I mean, I can see why you would buy multiple versions of Gandalf. You've got to have Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White, and then there's Gandalf
beige,
with
the bone, the off-white.
And then there's the
Gandalf with dirty on top of the mushroom.
You know,
Gandalf with a new hat.
Gandalf with like
Gandalf with the sorting hat with from Hogwarts.
No.
Sorry.
Gandalf letting off firecrackers and all of that stuff.
Gandalf just being a dick.
That's Gandalf all the time.
We've really gone sideways there, lads.
So
Jesus Christ, that's more than usual.
All this new stuff they're making looks really phenomenal, and the new Bretonnian stuff and the new Tomb King stuff, it looks really cool, and I'm really excited for it. Part of me is like, are you guys perhaps biting off more than you can chew here?
As I said earlier, but before, they've still only got the one warehouse and factory, right?
Yeah.
I said yes. So
so they make one box of everything, and nobody can buy it.
It's only
if we put it in one shipping container and put it on the single boat,
it goes all around the world in a clockwise motion.
It's like Santa Claus, but plastic crack.
Yeah. Well, and then you have things like the shipment stuff, like fucking the Lion getting delayed by a fortnight in Australia and New Zealand and Japan and nowhere else because they just couldn't get the models there in time for the release, apparently.
Which is not the first time that's happened for Australia.
Yeah, it's not the first time that's happened. Yeah, it's happened with other stuff I wanted to buy. Yeah. I can't remember what it was, but I remember being pissed about it before.
All conspiracy against you, Michael.
It is.
Yeah, Michael, what's the next thing you're going to buy? Just so I can send the email to Games Workshop.
And no one order that, okay? Just Michael's alone, leave it for him.
Dear Games Workshop, Michael is going to be buying this model.
Oh well, rumors suggest that it's already happened to the second wave of Votan that was supposed to be happening late this year.
So, Buddy Mini's hinting that the labour is actually in India and China. I went read the other bit you've put there. I thought it all comes out of the UK. Or do they? Is it offshore?
No, it is all printed in the UK.
Yes, I thought that was the whole point, wasn't it? That's why they don't have other warehouses.
They've experimented with doing it in other places though, because wasn't Cursed City?
That's right.
Was all printed in China.
Yeah, and that went well.
And that was considered to be part of the clusterfuck with Cursed City, why they ran out of stock and couldn't make enough because the pandemic fucked their ability to get their shit out of China.
Yeah,
I thought it was because they used stuff they weren't allowed to use and they had to stop production.
No, because they've subsequently released it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they repurchased the IPs, back to IPs again.
Oh, there wasn't any.
There was a whole bunch of stuff that they used for Cursed City that they weren't allowed to use.
Like what? There was just werewolves and stuff.
Yeah. There was, I don't know the exact details of it, but there was stuff that they weren't allowed to use.
Okay.
So,
I don't know. I can't think of anything in there that seems contentious.
I don't know. I don't have the game. I would have loved the game, but I couldn't get my hands on it. And then when I could, I couldn't afford the 3 extra kidneys I would have had to sell to buy the bloody thing.
One of these days I'll finish assembling and painting that. And we can try and do it at a board game night or something.
I've got totally illegal, illegitimate prints of it, but I won't do anything with it.
So, are you suggesting that you're going to stop buying everything all the time, Mike?
No, I'm just concerned about whether I will have the opportunity to buy everything. Nothing will be available.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, that's already the case now.
That is also true.
Because they know that if they don't have one on stock, you're going to buy another model or another game mode. You go, I'll just get that.
Hey,
Next
Ricky
thing
Clan,
you've
how we
got
going? Why did we not hear that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are going to end up having to pick, which line am I going to buy because they can't afford to buy all 4 frickin' main lines.
That's right. And
I'm kind of already doing that. I'm not buying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the outlier.
Look,
to be honest, is there anything to buy?
Well, there's a lot of things to buy, in my opinion. At least with 40k and 30k and with AOS and Old World, there will be some overlap, especially with the old Warhammer models. Are there that many of the old Warhammer models still available? I think there are, aren't there? They're going through and doing a free cities thing, so they're probably getting rid of all the Empire stuff and.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying to work out on the sound at the moment, so talk amongst yourselves.
What about you, Adam? What is your take on? Are you going to continue buying multiple streams, or are you going to snap up all the 40k stuff as it comes, or? I
am starting to build Age of Sigmar models because I do have a big pile of shame behind me. That's why I sit on my lounge so you can't see the pile of shame. I do have Adeptus Mechanicus, or Adeptus Titanicus, whatever it is, the most expensive game that you'll never actually play. That's sitting in a box somewhere.
Did you grab that? Did you?
I'm pretty sure that one's Apocalypse.
No.
Apocalypse is awesome.
No. The Adeptus Titanicus.
The most expensive game you'll never play is Apocalypse.
I've played that before. Yeah. But yeah, can I see myself playing the Warhammer whatever one, the one that's just been released that they said no. I would probably just build another army within 40k and Sigma and just keep building across. But yeah, I can't see myself going into other ones. I'd probably, if I like the model, absolutely, I'll probably get the model. But I can't see myself going whole hog into another game mode.
And do you find yourself overwhelmed with choice?
Well, the choices is there, but that's what I mean. I go, I like that model. and then I buy it, and next thing I go, ooh, I like that model, and I'll buy it, and then I've got a whole army, and I scratch my head going, how did that happen? But it's just more of that. Yes, I'm spoilt for choice, but I like their new models, but I can't see myself playing it, and I'll only get it and if other people are playing it.
Yeah,
If you know what I mean.
I had that kind of problem with Warcry. Like when it first came out, I was just like, these models are so fucking cool, and
weren't they?
I bought all of the starter gangs for Warcry, and then I haven't played it at all.
Yeah,
But
so
I was
I'm
just
the
like,
opposite to you there.
yeah.
I
was
really
just-
wanted to get into it, but I thought, oh no, I've got enough. Can't really put myself in the situation, jump into another subsystem. But Jesus, they look cool.
So I'm
Yeah.
back. So I want to pick up. This is the Warcry you're talking about, and
Yeah.
yeah. So is
For
that
me,
one
basically,
way that they're
guilty.
controlling some of the need to print all these models by keep releasing new box sets, which means those older box sets are no longer available? Because they're like some of the kill teams, those kill team boxes. As soon as a new kill team box comes out, you can't get the previous kill team box. Can you still get those exact models?
What they've done is the previous kill team boxes, like the dual boxes, they become separate individual kill teams. Like the Exaction squad that I was talking about, the Extraction squad, sorry, was one half of the previous kill team box set. So they generally come out as individual box sets later.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I do like the kill team armies.
Yeah, the kill team stuff is really cool, and they've released a lot of cool stuff in there. Like, I like that because it feels like it gives them the opportunity to release stuff that they don't want to do a full army of.
Yeah.
Or by the same token, possibly to use it as a testing ground for something they might want to turn
Yeah.
That's
into
what I
a
was
full
about
army.
to say. Yeah, just see if people's interest in that particular aspect is there or not.
Yeah, if you buy them when they've come separate. So otherwise, getting a kill team dual box is still an expensive way of testing the
Yeah.
waters.
Well, yeah, they can see how much hype there is around weird stuff like that. Like they did with Blackstone Fortress when they were like, oh, P.S., here's a Zote.
It's the Galapox I'm disappointed I didn't get when they've released those really weird looking critters. I thought, oh, that's
Yeah.
fun, but I can't get them anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I've got that sitting around somewhere unbuilt.
Just leave your front door open, mate. I won't take it.
Was that from the Blackstone Fortress?
And suddenly find out who the scalper is.
The Galapox was the one that had the Imperial Navy, didn't it? Like the Navy Voidsman?
yeah, I think
Was it the Rogue
It
Trader?
is an old one. Yeah, Rogue Trader. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Rogue Trader
With
box
with
set.
the
Yeah, I've
peg
got
leg
that.
and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to get the Galapox, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it sold out really quickly because
It
everyone
did.
wanted the really
It was
cool
insane.
Rogue Trader models.
Yeah, it was insanely quick. I missed out. It's fine. I'm not bitter about it at all, bastards. But that's the thing, though. There's trouble having stock now. They're bringing out all this
Yeah.
new stuff. 10th edition is about to drop. Nobody's waiting for that, is they? Are they? There won't be any problems with pre-ordering that, will there? What could go wrong?
Nobody's.
What?
Yeah, nobody at all will buy 10th edition at all ever.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be plenty of stock day one.
Yeah.
The rumors. They announced that they're making more of this box set than they've ever made of any other box set in the world. It still won't be enough. GW.
No.
It still won't be
That
enough.
means they've just made an extra 2 boxes. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, look at Indomitus, where they had to go and do a made to order run.
Yeah.
Like they're going to have to do that again. I think. I
Well,
do
even
not think
just
they're going to
look-
meet needs.
Look at the release of 9th.
Yeah.
That was like, I never found a full rule book ever in stock anywhere.
Oh, don't get me on the
Got
rule
one under
book.
my desk
I
right here
never
if you want
actually
it.
bought the book for 9th because I physically could not buy it.
Yep. One under my desk right now. I think I've opened it twice.
To balance out the table. Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid fucking 9th ed. I hated it.
So that could be one of the reasons why 10th is on its way. It's all down to Mark. Yeah.
Oh, me for crying out
9th
loud.
was good to me, ironically
I hate
enough.
it.
Not that I could buy the rules or,
I like the core of 9th. the strategies
made
got
Necrons
silly.
really good,
the power creep
but I
got
hated it.
excessive.
Yep. And this rule and this rule and this stratagem and this stratagem and this rule and that stratagem and this rule and what the fuck am I doing now?
So we knew 10th
Yeah.
edition would come into the conversation.
You started it, numbnut.
We knew it would come. But one of the things they have actually said officially is they are phasing out Firstborn Space Marines. So you will not get them.
I missed them actually saying that officially.
Yeah. It will be phased out. There'll probably be legendized and stuff like that. So things like this. So if there's a Primaris version of them, say Outriders and bikes, we will stop making the bikes because you've got Outriders and things like that. That's what the phase will be. So I don't think it'll be instant. I don't think the entire Firstborn will be legendized in one go, but they will. And they have to. If they're making all of these different models for all these different games, they can't keep making something.
They need to get rid of the really old stuff because they don't have the production lines for it.
Yeah.
But which is annoying. Although it looks like they're not going to do it straight away because 10 looks like it's kind of designed for them to just remove the rules distinction between the two.
Yeah.
Is the vibe I got.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see because there's a lot of characters who still don't have like a Primaris version of them.
They seem to be writing their way towards it. Like in the Arcs of Omen, Belial gets fucked up. Like Angron smacks the shit out of him and he gets dragged away barely alive. So I'm like, yep, Belial's going to become a Primaris.
Well, I've only got one character left, in Salamanders, that's Hestan. So yeah, that'd be nice. He needs a new model. My God, he needs a new model. So yeah, if they're going to keep continuing all these different lines, something's got to give.
Yeah.
So what is it that gives? Firstborn. Okay, that makes sense. We saw it coming as soon as Primaris came out. We went, all right, it's the end of Firstborn. It's amazing it's taken this long.
Yeah, it's taken a lot longer than everyone said it would.
Correct. Yeah.
But I see the 40k. Yeah, they've got the kill team and they've got the apocalypse and all that. You can still play with the same unit models, but the side shoot ones, which is coming, I can't see. You'll have to get a whole brand new army. You won't be able to sit back and go, "Oh, I'm playing with this model set," because that's not the feel of that army. You know what I mean? Because that's the way that they'll roll. They'll go, look, this is a brand new gameplay, Warhammer Fantasy, but I've got Sigma Army, for example. No, that's fantasy.
Well, it depends.
Old world,
It will probably depend on which AOS army you have.
So you could use the Fire Slayers. Fire Slayers, what they're called? That's
Fire Slayers, yeah.
So you could have them as a Troll Slayers, in the old world.
If you have like your old free city models, or those kind of things, or demons, those kind of stuff, you might be able. Then again, actually, old world's going to be ranked square bases, so no, you can't.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's inconvenient.
Then again, I haven't debased all my old Empire and Undead and Chaos Warriors and Beastmen and Dwarves. They're still on square bases.
Well, Michael's right.
I actually sold all my old world stuff. Now I'm going to regret it, aren't I? All my dwarves, all my Skaven.
Yep.
All coming up, Mike.
That's all right. You can get them all made to order.
That's it. And the square base.
But you know what I mean? There's that thing that the old world to Sigma. All right, big deal. Round bases, square bases. Who really cares? Well,
the problem
do.
The problem is that you can't rank up round bases.
Not easily.
It won't work.
not without the little 3D printed.
Bases.
I mean, you can use a 3D printed thing, and then
Trace,
then your unit takes up heaps of space.
Yeah,
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Just to see how popular Old World would be, considering, it's pretty much come back to people going, give it back! And see how many people actually jump on it.
And then they get the rule books and they've gone, this is
Fighting
crap.
Mini feels that Old World will just see a lot of the old minis come back.
Oh,
Yeah,
more than likely, because they've got to get their money's worth out of all those molds.
a lot of the old Warhammer models look fine. So redoing all of them feels like a waste.
Maybe not some of the rank and file ones. The old
But it
Dwarf.
would be nice if they
and
would
skating.
update their promo shots with like 2023 kind of painting standards, because some of that like the early 90s stuff was
Heavy
a bit
metal,
wonky.
The catechin,
Yeah.
the plastic catechin set with really
With the
bad
googly
90s
eye?
paint scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if they're bringing out 10th, when they're bringing out 10th, they're going to bring out all this whole new Tyranids and stuff like that, and new box sets. They're going to try and bring out Old World. We don't have a date for that, do we? Was that announced at Warhammer?
I don't recall they've given a date for Old World. They've said it's not forever away, but not super soon. I think it was about the.
Well, that's creating.
Yeah.
Well, how many factions roughly was it? About 10?
I mean,
factions.
it
Say was
depends,
10
really.
factions.
because they're probably going to have to bring in new factions. Like, that surely would be the point. Especially with things like, for Total War Warhammer, they literally wrote an army list for Cathay.
Yeah.
For Warhammer. So, you know, they've got, like, they're making noises about it, and it sounds like they intend to expand on what was in the old world. Because it's set in a different time period to when main Warhammer Fantasy was. So I'm not sure. They could just release all the old stuff, or they could make new stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, if they're foreshadowing with like Cathay and that, they could just go, right, bam, here's your box. Here's a whole bunch of new sweet models, and then
So I've just
it will
found
sell out instantly, and they will resume printing money.
I've just found some information that was released officially. It's hosted on Spiky Bits, so take that as you will. There will be new models for many factions, both plastic and resin, as well as returning models for many factions. So there's that.
Okay.
Here's the old molds. Let's slap some shit out using the old ones, but here's some funky new ones.
That have
Every eighth edition Warhammer Fantasy Army will be playable, with an ongoing focus on the featured old world armies. So yeah. And I'm just looking at some of the new molds, and they actually look
templates.
pretty good.
Templates will be back. 8th edition uses templates.
Mm.
8th edition. Bloody hell. Old World uses
However-
templates.
The thing about the old world that is important to remember is Chaos Dwarves or Riot.
Oh, Chaos Dwarfs. That was my first army.
I only know them from
Do they have
Talisman.
flamers?
I find
Yes,
it hilarious that
a
was your
lot.
first time. I've known no one who's that as a first time. Goblin Doom Divers Dead Against just mentioned. Don't mention goblins. Oh my god! When I played Old World. I played against goblins all the time, and I hated the fanatics, the assassins, everything. I was like, oh my god!
Yeah,
Not
man,
Chaos Dwarfs with the big blunderbusses.
Yeah.
I learned to play
Perhaps.
Warhammer against High Elves and Chaos Dwarves, and it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. I always found that Warhammer was a
You
very
always had that
hero
one guy
hammer.
with Tyrion.
Yeah. Found it too much hero hammer. You had one HQ just dominated. I go, oh, man, that's not
Yeah,
fun.
he just strode across the board and munted everything in his path.
I mean, it didn't help that the box set came with a hero for each side. It was a cardboard cutout hero.
Yeah, I remember
for
that
each
cardboard
side,
cutout.
but,
Yeah. Big battle against the cardboard cutout Orc Dreadnought.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, my Tyrion, my Tyrion on a Griffin is going to fight your fucking Azag on a Wyvern.
Who wants to... Buddy Mini in the chat. Who wants a Bretonnian army? Who wants to paint the Bretonnian army? Yeah,
Idiots.
I never
I mean,
liked the Bretonnians.
I could bust out my old Bretonnian army. It's mostly painted.
But they'll have to use the old molds. There's no way they could bring out new full armies and have that many new... And there'll be
Yeah,
time
they're
that
not
they'll
gonna-
replace the core stuff. But again,
Yeah, probably
how?
like
When?
retool
They
the
got-
characters and probably leave most of the fucking rank and file.
Yeah. And then you go, but then how do they replace that when they're still trying to bring out all this other stuff with all these other games?
All the other lines and all of the new heresy stuff, which is still in the middle of, like, they haven't finished bringing all of the plastic heresy stuff over. And they just released plastic Cerastus Knight, which suggests they're probably going to go through and do the rest of the resin Cerastus Knights as plastic.
And I'll
So
go aboard
there's
that,
a lot
for
of...
sure.
I was not expecting them to bring those to plastic when they said they were
it's
bringing the
available-
heresy stuff over.
It's available through the GW site. I will be grabbing that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
But
because the
so
heresy...
realistically, the answer to this question is evidently now it is not too much.
Debatable. Oh, this is Monolith is just saying debatable for
Yeah.
Xmas because someone suggested Xmas, but third ed early 2024 for Age of Sigma third ed.
Yep.
So, but someone said Old World, probably Christmas.
Yeah, so what they're saying in that link I just put in there, they're saying that they probably won't want to put out Old World between
Not at the top of each one.
with the release of the new 40k and coming up with the push for AOS third.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
It would be like they don't really give a shit whether they overpopulate the market. No, sorry, oversaturate the market, even with their limited stocks. But I don't think they do that to themselves.
But it's more the
that
models,
badly.
though.
Well,
Getting the models ready, and then any new release will have a new box set, so they've got to get models ready for that.
when did the new edition of Heresy come out? That was like mid last year or
Tuesday.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah, fairly recent.
Yeah,
It was pretty recent, but I'm just trying to remember. Like, with the box with all the new beakies.
yeah.
That was middle of last year, I want to say.
They got 10th
Sometime
edition
last year.
next month.
Yeah.
Age of Sigma, you're saying, what was it? Early 2024.
So
Yeah,
if AOS is next year. If they maintain
January, February.
that separation, then it'll be like 6 to 12 months that they'll
Yeah.
want to put between
Correct.
it
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
thing.
it's got
They'll
people
wanna
ready to
bed
go.
in.
Oh, I'm bored of this. Oh,
Yeah,
you
they'll
are?
want to bed down 10th ed, then they'll want to bed down 3rd ed for Sigma, and then while people are, finally gotten over the frothiness, they'll go, all right, drop Old World.
But it also does make you wonder if they've been working on some of this stuff a lot earlier than
funny you
the
said that, 'cause
announcements and things.
Buddy Means in the
Because-
chat has just asked, what if the models are already ready?
Yeah, and there's that possibility, but who knows, really? And who knows how G-Dub's mind works? Will
I
the
mean, a
models be
lot of
ready?
those
Do they ever do what they
production
need to
lead
do?
times go forever.
Yeah.
It's
They've
not like
been-
they're creating a codex overnight. It's that sort of style, yeah.
Well,
They sure
they've
as
been
fuck don't test them properly.
they've been teasing like old world stuff and
Oh,
like
that was-
3D renders of work in progress Bretonian and Tomb King stuff for years.
Yeah. Like
Like,
on the AOS Reddit feeds, you see all this stuff. Oh, here's the latest leak about Bretonians. Here's the latest leak about Crypt Kings. It's been going out for years, and for as long as I've been interested in AOS. And yeah, it's a slow drip feed that I think is probably coming from G-Dub.
yeah, like the AOS has been in production for so long that I've been complaining about how much of a cock tease it's been.
I believe we have an episode or something about that, the big drip.
Yeah, the big
They
drip.
never do that
Like,
to
it
us.
was- specifically was complaining about the drip feed of like how they take forever to release something and just keep teasing you about it.
They would never do
And
that to
that's
us.
why I kept saying that, like all of these things, they'll be later than they say.
Yeah.
Episode
But yeah,
55, the big drip. Listen to it, folks. It's important.
So yeah, like I guess, I'm probably going to keep buying the stuff that I'm into. But probably a bigger concern is, will they be able to make enough of this stuff to supply people?
Yeah, as mentioned before,
I
there's
think
so
they
many
will.
stuff on the website now that has been out of stock for so long. And that's not just the models. It's also, they put on the Horus Heresy, the dice. So the Salamanders dice suddenly became on GW's website. Sweet! It's never been in stock. I was going, oh my god! So how do they keep that up?
I reckon
And you
they
must-
wait until so many people have clicked on email me when it's in stock.
I wonder how much of their stuff was made in Ukraine or Sudan or something like that.
Another thought that's just come to my mind is a lot of the stuff that's been impossible to get, I've noticed for some things, you can only now get in those Parts Works magazines. And it's like, you look on the website and it says, for Age of Sigma Nighthorns, Hex Wraiths, just Ghosty Knights. They've been out of stock online for nigh on 2 years, and yet I got 6 of them in those Part Works magazines. So the stock's there. Why the hell is it not in their stores?
Well, the part work stuff is probably being made by someone else. I don't
No,
know.
it's all G-Dub
It's all
stuff.
legit stuff.
It's all
Yeah.
it's all the
No,
legitimate stuff from GD stock.
Oh, yeah, I know
G-Dub
it's
stock.
the exact
Yeah, it's the
same
trainee who's
sprues.
doing it. Yeah.
It's just like it comes out in like different colors and stuff from how it was released. So I wasn't sure. Well, I mean, the
No.
Imperium one did. It came out in weird colours.
So yeah, I
Oh.
will admit, yeah, some of the the starter Nighthawk ones, the chain rust, they did come out in the weird aqua greeny blue color. But that was also the ones that were the little starter kits that you could buy, the the $30 starter kit ones. But these Hex Wraiths, they came out, they're the exact same as if you'd gone and bought a box from the store. So what are they doing with that stock? Where's that coming from?
Oh, well, that could be that they just have a contract. They need to supply them, so they make those for the contract. And well, there's none for the normal people. Sorry.
You're calling normal.
Great business model.
Joker paints the Heresy Contemptor. I'm assuming this next part's a misspell. The Heresy Contemptor Shave only just came back into
I think he
stock
means
already.
the Heresy Contemptors have.
Right.
Yes.
That makes
I
more
agree.
sense. I like the shaving Contemptor, actually. It's just there on the battlefield. Be with you soon. Just got to tidy up a bit. Yeah.
Just having a trim.
Having a trim.
Yeah, I
Wasn't it old
didn't even notice that the Heresy Contemptors were having stock issues because I have so many fucking resin Contemptors.
Yeah. It's interesting. My biggest fear, if they're going down the path of if there's an identical one in Space Marines, they're going to drop it. Does that mean they're dropping the Devastators for this fucking T-shirt launchers squad?
I mean,
You
well,
betcha.
Yeah. I mean, they're bringing
betcha. Devastators
like-
will go away.
For the
they're bringing
T-shirt
like
launchers.
Flamer squads and stuff.
I cannot wait for the Flamer squads. I just made a 10-man squad of 1,000 Suns Flamer squad. I went, yeah, Flamers! So now
Especially
give me
terrible-
templates and I'll be complete.
They're going to be especially rough in things like the boarding action shit. Because I was running a squad of Flamers in Heresy Zone Mortalis, and using a squad of Flamers inside a Space Hulk is rough.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that in Aliens. Cool. What else? I don't know where I was going with that, so somebody else better talk.
So, do you think that they're biting off more than they can chew?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, their track record suggests they are.
Yeah, they're already having stock issues, and that's before 10th has been launched. They're already, it's just they're winding back the resin stock to make it plastic, which puts more pressure on the plastic manufacturing.
Well, the question is, though, that are they having stock issues because they're releasing 10th and all their production's going into 10th?
No, I just think it's their business model.
That's a good point. Saying they're going to make the most amount of box sets they've ever made. So yeah, there'd be a lot of effort going into making the 10th box.
Wasn't there a rumor, or did they say it in Warhammer in the community page, that they were talking about making a second factory or a second warehouse? There was something about that in the last year. There was a rumor about it or something. So, I mean, if they actually set up a second fucking warehouse and distribution center, maybe they'll be able to pull this off.
It'd be nice to have one in Australia.
I'm pretty sure the rumors were saying they were going to set up a second one in England.
Yeah, I figured that would, but it would be nice so I can dream.
Yeah.
That's still my dream. I'd still lose the boat. It'd be...
Yeah, it'll be the slowest boat out of, the other side of the world.
Yeah, we just strapped all of the paint to a turtle and we just sent it off. It'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
We don't know where it went.
Suddenly I thought they got the IP for Discworld and I just got excited.
They would have splurged. They would have splurged for an iTag or something to get the tracking going.
Yeah, it's just a turtle with an iPhone taped to it.
Yeah. And you only get tracking for the first 2 days.
Come on,
Yeah.
iPhone, really? An air tracker.
Alright, so if we've all said basically yes, they're biting off more than they can chew, what's the impact?
For them, they don't give a fuck because they've got a captive audience who still will want to buy their stuff.
I mean, technically they're selling everything they make. So
Is it? Sorry, I just want to
technically
go
that's
back to
making
Mark.
a profit.
The other Mark. Is it as captive as it once was with the amount of 3D stuff and the proxies that are out there?
I'm going to answer that question with another question. Mike, how much shit have you got in your house at the moment?
11.
Yeah. So you've got, and I'm not picking on you in any way.
No,
here,
no,
Mike,
I was
so
saying
please
how
don't take-
much of it.
Mike
I know
had-
it's still a captive, but how much is it now? Is it making... With people can't get stock, are they looking for alternatives?
All right, answer that question. Another question, Adam. How much stuff have you printed off that's legitimate alternative figures?
Um,
Don't incriminate yourself too badly.
Right, it's not recorded.
a couple. It was for Noise Marines,
Right.
and they were like a third-party Noise Marine.
Yep. And so that's Adam. I'm assuming, Adam, you don't have the access to all the figures that I've got, that I've managed to find alternative figures for. I have not printed a single one apart from some Votan. So it hasn't affected me in the slightest with the 3D printing capabilities. But you got Mike, who, as again, Mike, I'm not having a go at you in any way whatsoever. Mike's got the ability, and damn, I wish I had it as well, to go and get an absolute fuck ton of models whenever he wants to. And he's already said he's just going to keep going and getting more stuff.
Yeah.
So I think they don't care. They've got a captive audience.
Oh,
what's
they do.
the saying? It's plastic crack. It's plastic crack.
I will still openly say, look, what did I say? I'm not buying any more models. I just bought Tor Gavin.
Well, yeah, it's like the marks are saying, they're going to have trouble producing stuff, but they're selling everything they produce.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
It doesn't hurt them.
Yeah, and you're looking at me. I've got 2 Age of Sigmar forces, and I'm looking at Seraphon because they look so fucking cool.
They
Do
really
I need
do.
them? Yeah. Do I need them? No. Am I likely going to find people to play with against them? Probably not, because you bastards won't play with me. But
I will.
What
and I'll probably have half a Battle Force box.
I heard of
sitting
half a
behind me.
bottle. I'm around your place, mate.
Yeah.
So you've got me as someone who can 3D print. I think I could do around about 2,000 points for every force. Easy, but I still don't do it.
Yeah.
I will still look and go, they look pretty cool. I might buy those blizzards.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah, because even if you can get alternate models and 3D print things, it looks worse. So there is that temptation. I know some you can get stuff that's comparable, but a lot of the alternates don't look as good.
I need to send
GW,
you some photos of my Votan so you can
They do
have
have
a look
a
at some of that.
quality advantage there.
Yes.
I've
Yeah,
got
there
a
is a-
Sagittar, Michael, if you're really interested.
I hope I've got 2 coming from England that I got on eBay for not extortion. Hopefully they'll turn up. They were supposed to be here last week.
I still like
Like-
the Games Workshop models over the printed ones. But
Some
I
of them,
mean,
my oath, yeah.
my
Yeah.
Noise Marines that I've got, the Noise Marine one, and then I would say one Noise Marine where I printed, I just want to look at it, and it looks good, but it's not the resin gun. It's not looking like a Noise Marine.
So yeah,
It's-
I fully understand you. It was like my Night Haunts. I lost one of my figures. I can't remember which one it was. Actually, it was
But it's haunting him.
one of these little fuckers here.
Oh, Rafe Reavers or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I found him later, but in the meantime, I wanted to get the squad of 10, and so I went and found my mini factory, so a legitimate designer, and I spent the $1.98 American to buy that figure, and it actually looks cool.
Yeah.
It's not as good as a G-Dub one. I'm not going to say it was. It looks pretty cool. The quality's not as good, but for the purposes I wanted it, where it was a replacement that I needed in a hurry, and it worked fine. But yeah, I would much rather get a G-Dub. If I could have bought a single one from G-Dub, I would have.
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah.
I just have that option.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they look like trash. It's just
some
the
of
Games
them do.
Workshop. Some of them do look trash,
Yeah.
but Games Workshop stuff looks better.
Yeah.
So usually, most people are like, for preference, I would rather have the GW one.
So we had an episode way back, episode 33. It was about there's no party like a third party, and we talked about this, about third party and 3D printing stuff. And I think we came to the conclusion that the quality of the GW stuff is, which I think the 3D printing is pushing them to have better quality. It's been
They've
fantastic.
been leaning into quality so hard in the last
It's been great.
decade or so. It's nuts. The stuff we were buying in the 90s compared to what the new kits come out today is just night and day.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the old Necron stuff. Some of that just looked, oh my god, how
Space Crusade
dubious,
Necron,
and it looks
yeah.
great now. Looks so good.
No, you're reminding me of the original Necrons. Man, they were
They were craptacular.
Yeah. The old grey guy like that. with the gun stuck up. Right? Yeah, that was awesome.
The free guy who came on the front of the magazine.
I think we joked that they were like broken skeleton warriors when they first came out like that.
Hey, look, when they first
so-
came out, we thought they looked cool.
So I got to bring it back because so we're saying that captive market, people are still going to buy it. Absolutely. Will people start looking at alternatives if we can't get hold of it? Well, I do.
Most likely.
My Vortex Beast is not a GW one because it has been out of stock for months and months and months. I said, fine, I'll find somewhere else. Again, thank you to that site you mentioned ago, and I've just gone blank what it's called. And I paid money for it.
My mini factory.
Yeah, my mini factory.
I think the big problem comes when you have like just massive amounts of no stock.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get a new player into the game.
Yeah.
More so than dudes who've got like 10,000 points of unbuilt minis lying in their shed, you know?
Yeah. I think they still have a shit ton of those Desolation squads. Yeah, just saying.
I should build my Desolation Squad.
Oh my god, don't do it!
I don't even know what it looks like. I have to look now.
I need it 3D printed so and at the barrel of the gun as it shoots out, it has a T-shirt coming out.
I mean, what
Just
they
get
look
some
like, and
green
I'll go
stuff,
find
you'll
your
be
model.
fine.
Yeah, or the Nerf gun. Yeah, it's the other version. Yeah.
But yeah, like there's, that's usually where most people are using stuff like, 3D prints and recasts and stuff. It's for the stuff that you literally can't buy.
Correct. Yeah. So if they're going to make it, they're going to try and look after all these lines and make it challenging for them to keep the stock up.
I reckon what
Yeah.
they'll do
Captive
is they'll
market,
bring out
but
the new
there
line.
might be an increase of people looking for alternatives because 3D printers are coming down in pricing. There are some really good alternative models out there, not just 3D printed, but different companies as well who are making alternatives. And if they've got them in stock and I'm going, oh my god, I can't get this, wow, I need an alternative. It's hard for me not to say no.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they need to be producing more because, it's all well and good selling everything that you make, but you kind of need to try and fill demand a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
If they're just going
I
to
need to bring new
more and
blood
more
in.
things out. Yeah.
At the moment, the captive market is us, right?
yeah.
This sort of, not genre, you know what I'm talking about. The other word did you say for generation?
Cohort.
Yeah, that'll do. But, yeah. Some young
But
kid,
yeah, like,
I can't get it. Well, fine.
All right, my grandkids will get my
Yeah.
40k and
Demographic, thank
hopefully
you,
it won't
Ted,
be,
again. I just
won't be
finished my
legendized.
assessment and my brain switched off as soon as I handed it in. Okay? That's my excuse.
But yeah,
Academic study gone.
I'd be more worried about whether they would be able to produce enough models for the game to actually take off and to produce a player base.
Yeah.
If it wasn't old world, and I know for a fact there's a player base waiting for a rule set,
Yeah.
There is.
that's the saving grace they've got there, in that there are people who've been waiting for it to come back and are sitting
And they're
there
specifically saying the old models will still be playable.
yeah.
Is it the Tomb Kings
Tomb
or
Kings,
Tomb?
I've got a huge Tomb Kings army that I bought after Warhammer Fantasy went under.
But that's what I mean. There's a lot of people I know, like in YouTubers, that have those things, and they're waiting for them to come back.
Yeah. And
They're
Tomb
just
Kings are going to
rubbing
run
their
the
hands.
launch armies too.
And they're rubbing their hands because they're going to have it. I can see that it's going to be a really small niche of players that are going to play.
Yeah.
But you're going to get the couple that jack on, and there's your money spinner.
Yeah.
You've got the old people that want to play it, and then you get the couple of young people that come in and play it because it looks cool.
I think if you look at the language Games Workshop has used in the Warhammer community things and stuff, I think they're expecting new players not to be able to get into Old World, because they explicitly said, when they were talking about starter sets, they said the reason there won't be an Old World starter set is because they see Old World as like an experienced player system.
Yeah.
They don't expect people to pick up Old World as their first war game.
So they're just going to punch out rule books for the people who already have stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which could,
Well,
save them a lot of demand if that's the attitude they're going
Yeah,
with.
GW have said that they will be making or making products available, whether it means they're going to sell them or they're going to put them online, that make it easier for people to jump in the game. And that just tends me to believe what Mike is saying. They're expecting the old grognards, the people who've got the whole set, to go, yep, I'm in, I'm back, and I might drag a kid with me or someone else who might be interested, but it's for the old people.
Yeah, it's an experienced gamer's game is how they kind of described it. So they're probably not expecting to be getting new players from that. They're trying to get back old players.
So I want to go back to the impact of not having stock. Scalping. Saw it with the Lion.
Oh boy, did we see it with the Lion.
That is a horrible outcome for anyone who's legitimately want to get these models. That people
How bad
in.
was it?
Nobody, as Michael said earlier, no Dark Angel actually got the Lion. No Dark Angel player actually got the Lion.
Like, 10 minutes after release, like the Dark Angel Reddits were full of just people bitching about how they were there half an hour early and they were all sold out instantly and nobody got them.
Yeah.
Was it worldwide or just...
worldwide. So the web store.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the web store one worldwide.
As soon as that happened, you go to eBay and you can find it everywhere for an outrageous price.
Yeah, pretty much instantly they were up on eBay for 5 times the price.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's when you start going, well, where's the scalper protection?
Yeah.
So just everyone's crying, I can't get the line. Joker's just put in, I got my line, then butchered him for heresy.
Why not just buy the heresy one? I've got 2 of the heresy one.
It's your fault. He's trying to scalp it.
How much was the Lion?
The retinue box. It was I got it from a third-party stockist for 162.
How much did you set online for in the eBay?
500.
Hundreds and hundreds, 600 plus.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It was outrageous. So,
sell it for $1 for $200 worth of postage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
That's
good.
where you get there. Yeah.
With the caveat of it's an empty box.
GW has come out and saying that they're going to put a queue system in place for 10th edition.
They did that for something else, didn't they? I remember at one stage they had a queue and it stayed on there for quite a while.
I don't know how. I don't remember that. I know they did.
And every now and then it pops up.
Yeah.
So the Lion from GW was 180 with the retinue.
Yeah.
And 400 plus from eBay. Minimum 400.
Oh yeah, 400 to 600. There were more for more.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Wow, that's nuts.
So that's an impact of not making enough stock.
But it also goes back to what I said, where they don't care. Because whatever they make...
Well, they got the 180
they will
bucks.
sell.
So
Yep.
what happens
They
after
will
that?
sell. Yep. They don't care. And that outrage will just make people be more competitive to get it if it goes online again. It's like, oh shit, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm in the queue as early as I can, or I'm going to reserve as many as I can so I can sell them online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't care. They make their money.
There was the Colonel, the Catachan Colonel. That was one. Remember that free model? That was...
Yeah, we gave 1 copy to each stockist.
Yeah. I did manage to get one, and I did pay money for it. Not as much as what it was going for, that's for sure. I did let it calm down and went, all right, I can pay for that. That's about a reasonable price for a model. But still, not enough stock. Makes people go crazy.
So the consensus seems to be that GW is biting off more than they can chew, and that they can't make enough stuff to meet demand.
Yep.
And they don't really give a fuck about it either.
Because if there's demand, there's going to be people waiting for it. And if there's people waiting for it, they can just slowly trickle it through. And they know we're a bit low on profits this month.
They control the spice. They control the galaxy.
Pull the Basilisk box set lever.
Yeah.
Release the Basilisks.
Well, someone moves a file cabinet. Oh, look, here's an old stencil for something we haven't done in 20 years. Let's print that.
All the dwarf players are angry. Hit the Sagittor lever.
I can
No,
just
it's a
see
good
the
wrap up
dartboard
there,
at Games
Mark.
Workshop.
Yep.
Okay.
That was a good wrap up. We have been going on for almost an hour and a half, ranting and raving, which is a lot longer than I thought we would be for ranting and raving. I know, we never rant and rave in this show.
Never.
No, never.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a good summary. You want to say it again for the rest of the audience, and we'll all be quiet and listen to your wise words?
So the consensus is that they are biting off too much, or more than they can chew, and not making enough stuff.
Wasn't much of an executive summary, but that would be fine.
And not giving a fuck either. Sorry, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I think if they're going to keep pushing out all these different lines, they're going to have trouble with demand. Do they care? You meant to say that out loud, Mike. Yeah, just,
No, they don't. They don't give a rat's left nesticle.
will we still pay the money?
Michael
Yes.
will.
Probably.
Yeah.
Michael will.
Will we complain about it?
Yes.
Adam
Absolutely.
will.
But will we
Yeah,
be
I
going...
mean,
Oh no, I unleashed on the Orc box set one.
But if they
Oh,
did
so
things
dirty on
that
that.
were nice and everything like that, we wouldn't have any reason to be here.
Yeah, give us
I
more
didn't
content.
need
Thank you.
Yar, content for the content minds.
All right, folks. I think we'll wrap it up. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. That's how it works. We don't stop. We're going to keep going. There's logic right there. Thank you very much, folks, for joining us on the chat. Thank you very much for joining us and having a good old yarn as well. And I love when you correct people. It's awesome. It's fun. Because it wasn't correcting me. Ha 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 ha. So, take that. I was about to say Michael first, but we don't do that. All right. What about our social media stuff? Mark, what's your social media? The other one who has one.
Me? Mine is... I've got such a huge online presence. You'll find me on Instagram on monolithic stuff, and that's it.
Adam.
Instagram on Pronto 40k. I am. I've been a bit quiet lately, but I'm there.
People are going to look up Pronto 40k I am.
Won't.
It's just Pronto 40k. Yeah. And you can find me on, of course, Red Belly Black on Instagram, Twitch, Red Belly on Twitch. Our YouTube, anyone remember the YouTube name? It's changed.
Aren't we just RLG 40K?
RLG Real Loud
It is
Games.
RLG 40k because it's been renamed.
Oh. Wow.
Oh,
Did we actually manage to get it?
Yes. I hope. Otherwise, I've told
Don't
you
tell me
lies.
someone was squatting on the name. Wow. No, I'm looking at it right now. RLG 40K.
There you go. What's our Facebook page? It's the same.
Please
No,
choose.
it's not the same. It's RLG 40k.
I was about to say, isn't the only one that's different now the Twitter?
Yeah. Do we use it?
It's
Oh, never.
isn't it at Elon Musk? Don't ban me.
Yeah,
Elon
I
the cheap.
was about to say I don't use my Twitter anymore. So
No, I've not
Haven't
that I
in
was in
years.
love with Twitter, but yeah, it's just not a happy place, that's for sure.
yeah. Speaking of biting off more than you can chew,
All right, you can also catch me Thursdays and Tuesdays. Why did I do it in that order? I don't know. For Hobby Night. Please join me on that, and that's on the Twitch channel. I've been painting Chaos Knights lately and Thousand Suns. It's exciting. I use brushes and everything.
Woot.
What else is there to talk about? That's it. If you want to support the squad, you want to support the podcast, please do. We'll appreciate it. You can do that by hitting subscribe wherever you are listening to it. I get those numbers up, which is awesome. Hit subscribe at our Facebook page when this gets up there. Or you can do it now. You don't have to wait. Yeah, do it now. Or if you feel really keen, you can actually subscribe with money. You can do that at the Wobbly Players Syndrome podcast website, or you could do it through Twitch just as a subscription. Your choice. But we will take your money. That sounds good. Excellent. Right. Mark, say goodnight.
Yeah, Mark.
Okay, good night.
Great. Adam.
Good night, all.
And I will also say goodnight, and I will see you on the hobby streams. In the meantime, Radio Mike, take us away.
we haven't said goodnight to other Mark yet.
Oh,
Good night. Those
That was-
people who aren't watching the video, I did something naughty.
Yeah, that's why I
For
call
our-
it not safe for work.
For those listening to the podcast, he flipped the bird twice at the camera. At Greg.
Outrageous. And on that note, please take us away before we go further down the well.
Oh boy! That's a lot of systems! So, how much do you think is too much? When are you biting off more than you can chew? Is more than a mouthful a waste? Well, I can tell you one thing that's not too much. Join us next month for more Wobbly Player Syndrome!